welcome back. I got some great and exciting videos for you today. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And let's go.
Y'all gon' make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. Y'all gon' make me go all out.
Yo, that junk is flat.
No way.
It landed on
The Matrix is real.
You don't need to believe we live on a flat, stationary Earth. But you do have to believe that the Earth is a spinning space ball. One is observable, and the other is in your imagination. What do your senses tell you when watching this footage? That they are telling you that this is a ball and you can see curvature. You need to see a doctor because you're suffering from severe cognitive dissonance. I know what we can do. Let's ask some pilots what they think the shape of our Earth is.
Or is it globe, mate?
It's flat.
This is flat. Thank you very much, mate. God bless.
A man asked the pilot if the Earth is flat.
Can I talk to the pilot, please?
Right here.
You're the pilot?
Hi.
How long have you been flying for?
For Delta, 21 years, but maybe like 30 something.
I want to know, because they say the pilots know a lot. Do you think the Earth is flat or no?
I know it's flat.
You know it's flat? How long have you been flying for, you said?
Over 30 years.
And when you tell people that, do they think you're like crazy or no?
Only one person.
Only one person?
They built it for a flat, stationary Earth. And my goal is for some young fighter pilot to listen to what I just said, go out tomorrow and set the bottom of your L strobe on your altitude, run it out there to 80 miles, and that bottom altitude on your cursor will stay the same.
Are you a pilot?
Yes, sir.
One question.
Okay.
When you descend in the air,
Yeah.
do you dip or do you go straight?
It's straight.
Straight?
A little more with the nose out. That's it.
But straight. You don't dip
Yeah.
into the...
No.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome, sir. All
Have a great day.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
Curvature? No.
No, there's no curvature?
It's just all flat.
Pilot, is the Earth flat or round? Flat. Thanks. I'm with you.
Pregunta controversial. Hay un debate ahora en YouTube especialmente en el que las personas se cuestionan que si la curvatura de la Tierra es observable o no es observable.
No, a las alturas que vuelan esos aviones.
Usted no va haciendo ningún ajuste, va como si fuera parejito,
Sí.
sobre terreno
pero sí
plano.
tiene unos 2 grados más alto que normal, depende de lo que del caso del avión.
Ok, la nariz va hacia arriba.
Sí.
Pero no tienen que buscarla.
This just in. The Earth is flat. Wake up. So how did we go from all those maps, those flat Earth maps, with all the continents in the middle, to a globe?
Want to know why when you flip a globe over, it says not for educational use, but decorative purposes only? It's because not only would you never get to where you're going, but if you did, you would add miles upon miles upon miles on your trip. I want you to look at the CBS American School of Air map used in 1943 for flight school. And I want you to look at this. Here is a scale. People always say, where's your flat Earth map with a scale? Well, here it is. Not only does it have a scale, but it has this funny looking white border with all this outlined mapped terrain. What could that be? What could that be, I wonder? Not that continent at the bottom of the globe, something else that surrounds it. Now I want you to look at this map, and I want you to look at New York, and I want you to look at the path you would take from New York to Moscow. Okay, let's take a closer look. New York to Moscow, how's that going to look on this map? Let's draw a line right straight across, and notice how it's going to cut through Greenland. Now let's look at what the flight path they show us actually looks like. So when you pull up the actual flight path, this is what it looks like. They make it so it arcs up to Greenland and then down to Moscow. And notice the distance is actually shorter on their curved line compared to this one if you were to just go straight from New York to Moscow. Why would that be longer? Think about that. Again, on the flat Earth map, that's an actual map that flight schools used to use. Right through Greenland, and I want to show you why their straight line is actually a longer distance. Because this is what their straight line actually is on a real map. The map pilots use, the flat Earth map. It adds distance, but you go a curve away from it to come back versus going straight across. Now I just want to give you another example of how their curved flight paths from LA to Japan, why would we do that? I'll show you. Because on the flat Earth map, LA to Japan is actually an exactly straight line. You just fly across, and I want you to notice, where do they cut through? Alaska, and just on the edge of Russia here. Let's go back and look. Look again. LA through Alaska, just to the tip across Russia and down to Japan. Now is it making sense? Oh, and if you don't believe me, maybe you'll take these guys' word for it.
How long have you been a pilot for?
43 years.
Wow. What shape is the planet?
Flat.
Did you notice any curvature while we were up there?
Curvature? No.
No, there's no curvature?
It's just all flat.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I've been flying,
Yeah.
and I've come to the conclusion
Yeah.
there is no curvature. I never allow for curvature. There's no way there's curvature. We're round and flat, aren't we?
Definitely.
We are, aren't we?
Flat as
Thank
pancake,
you,
right?
sir.
Flat as a pancake.
That's exactly how a compass works. You have your magnetic North Pole, and anything facing away from that in any direction is south, pointing towards the Antarctic ice wall, which surrounds us all. So anything that's not pointed at the magnetic north is south. There is no equator.
Are you saying the map is wrong?
Oh dear, yes. Look at Greenland.
Okay.
Now look at Africa.
Okay.
The two land masses appear to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Would it blow your mind if I told you that Africa is in reality 14 times larger?
Yes.
Here we have Europe drawn considerably larger than South America. When it's 6.9 million square miles, South America is almost double the size of Europe's 3.8 million.
Alaska appears 3 times as large as Mexico, when Mexico is larger by 0.1 million square miles.
Germany appears in the middle of the map when it's in the northernmost quarter of the Earth.
Wait. Relative size is one thing, but you're telling me that Germany isn't where we think it is?
More breaking news. Just about everything you've ever been taught is a lie. Not only do you not live on a spinning ball in the middle of nowhere, none of the land is the size you think, and none of it is where you think. And also, there's tons of land inside the ice wall that's being hidden besides all the other land or worlds outside of the ice wall.
Bible makes clear that we live on a flat, non-rotating earth and that we live in a realm, not space. And I'm going to prove it to you. If you don't already use Haven, it's an awesome studying resource. It can pull up verses on specific topics. Everyone I've put onto this loves it. Isaiah 40:22. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's proof of the globe. No, it's not. The Hebrew word in this verse can be translated as circle or vault, indicating a rounded or arched shape. This suggests a reference to the dome or the expanse of the heavens. In Isaiah 22, he uses a totally different word for ball. He will surely wind you up tightly like a ball to be thrown into a wide land. Two different words used, and this is the only time that you see this word in the entire Bible. Proverbs 8:27, when he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. Job 26:10, he has inscribed a circle on the face of the waters at the boundary of light and darkness. Verses in Genesis alone that have the phrase, face of all the earth. What does that make you think of? A watch, the face of a watch. Job 22:14, thick clouds enwrap him so that he does not see, and he walks on the circle of the sky. Matthew 4:8, again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. Ezekiel 10:1, then I looked, and behold, in the firmament that was above the head of the cherubims, there appeared over them, as it were, a sapphire stone as the appearance of the likeness of a throne. Revelation 7:1, after this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4.
I've said it before. If you believe in God, God's earth is flat and motionless. If you believe in the globe, you're following Satan. That's his representation of the earth. He can't create anything, so he's got to distort God's creation to make you think there's planets and galaxies and you're not important. You are important. Everything revolves around us. The sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, which aren't what you think they are.
No encyclopedia said we live under a firmament up until 1951. That question alone should make you pause, because if knowledge is always improving, why did that idea disappear instead of being debated? Here's the tea. They say the richest families already know this and moved outward long ago, while the rest of us hustle, stress, and compete inside a limited system. Is that impossible or just uncomfortable to imagine? Now think about maps. Old paper atlases, classroom globes, phone screens, even Google Maps. They all show the same familiar zones with deep detail, yet other areas fade into blank space or restrictions. If maps guide how we think, what happens when parts of the board are erased? Are maps showing the whole world or just the area we're meant to manage? Then look at travel. People proudly say they've gone around the world, but, notice the routes. Ships, planes, races, and records mostly move east to west. Long sideways loops. North to south journeys are quietly discouraged. Is that just weather and fuel, or is direction more important than we're told? And then there's Antarctica, a frozen continent wrapped in permits, treaties, patrol ships, and rules. Some say it's only ice and science labs. Others ask why normal people can't freely explore it. What if the exit of our world to the other worlds is hidden behind the cold ice walls? So, what's the solution? Compare old books to new ones. Look at flight paths, shipping lanes, map projections, and historical language. Notice patterns instead of trusting labels. Ask why.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. Now, one
Flat Earth proof that might leave you questioning everything. The world's most powerful nations, who can't seem to agree on much, have somehow managed to unite over one thing: Antarctica. In 1959, they signed the Antarctic Treaty, and it's been unbroken ever since. Think about that. No land claims, no resource wars, no disputes, just complete cooperation. Suspicious yet? Here's where it gets stranger. Antarctica is essentially off limits. You can't just pack your bags and decide to explore it. Any visit must be scientifically approved and is tightly monitored. No free roaming, no casual expeditions, no exceptions. But why? What's so critical about a frozen, uninhabited continent that it needs this level of restriction? Now, consider this. Antarctica is vast, remote, and one of the least explored places on Earth. Despite that, it's locked down tighter than a vault. You can't freely fly over it, and sailing to its edges is practically impossible. Yet for over 60 years, no country has broken the treaty. Even in a world where nations are constantly clashing over territory and resources, Antarctica remains untouched. Doesn't that strike you as odd? Let's dive into history for a moment. Captain James Cook, one of the greatest explorers of his era, attempted to circumnavigate Antarctica 3 times. He traveled an estimated 60,000 miles along the icy perimeter, only to encounter an endless wall of ice, towering and impenetrable, stretching as far as the eye could see. No openings, no pathways through, just an unyielding barrier. If the Earth were flat, this would make perfect sense. That ice wall could be the ultimate boundary, holding everything in and keeping us from venturing beyond. But here's the real question. What's on the other side? Is there more land? An uncharted world? Or could it simply be the edge of everything we know? Now, let's think about the ice wall again. Why would NASA fake a round Earth? That question sounds wild until you flip it, you know. Big systems don't move on truth alone. They move on incentives. Funding flows, authority sticks, trust gets managed, and direction stays controlled. When an idea becomes untouchable, it stops being science and starts being belief. We're told space is endless, travel is impossible for regular people, and only elite institutions with labs, antennas, and sealed rooms can verify reality. That creates distance, and distance creates dependence. If a model can't be personally tested with water, light, motion, or simple tools, you must trust the storyteller. Think about how often space imagery looks like polished artwork instead of raw footage. Think about how live feeds conveniently cut away. Think about how experiments normal people try on beaches, lakes, rooftops, or open roads are dismissed instead of debated. None of this proves anything by itself. But, you know, patterns matter. When questioning is mocked instead of answered, something shifts. Maybe the goal isn't deception, but control of narrative. If people believe they are tiny, random, and insignificant on a spinning speck, they act differently than if they believe their world is designed, measured, and knowable. Different beliefs shape different behavior. Classrooms, chalkboards, compasses, sunsets, radio towers, and flight paths all become clues instead of decorations. Let that idea sit with you tonight.
I don't know. We're gonna have to do something. This guy's doing a flip right here, and the guy next to him just reaches up and grabs a harness that's right on his hip.
I gotta pause it real quick. I'm gonna pause it because the funniest part to me. Well, there's several funny parts, by the way. But the lady in the background with the hair.
Yeah.
It's like, did someone not think that like we've got to make her hair look like that, right? It's got to be standing up.
Yeah.
Dude, it is hard as a rock. It's not moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we must be in space. Look at her hair. Like, obviously, there's this thing called hairspray. Yeah. So here goes this guy doing a backflip, and
then gravity just gravity goes away. They must have found a pocket.
Yeah, gravity goes away, and he fell.
Yeah.
Or he got caught up in that harness he's wearing. Here comes the one with senior.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
And it's obviously a guy filming with a green tennis ball in front of a blue screen.
Right. Clearly, I mean, it's not even.
And then here's a clip of what they turned it into.
Here's this water particle. Yep. Wow.
This guy just disappears like, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm good to go. Hey, I gotta go. Yeah, what we got back there? Another green screen.
And this guy,
the ones where they're doing he's hanging his shirt, like you can see,
it's not even good.
You can clearly see the artist. It's like if you take your hands right now and you grab your shirt and you just pull out.
Yeah.
Like it's. Yeah. This one's my favorite right here.
Green
the guy goes to reach for.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a doofus.
But watch their thing at the end. I think this guy's always in it, man. He's the biggest clown. Yeah.
He's the worst. Like they got to be like, hey Bob, we got to get you out of here, bro. Like you're blowing our.
Look at this.
Let me reach up there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, oh kung fu.
Here, I'm gonna pause it real quick. I'm gonna pause it real quick. So
we have to. Then we got to expand.
So I imagine this guy in the green that's doing this flip. Like when they're practicing, they're like, oh, this guy's got the shit, man. He nails every flip, and you can never tell, right? So he's like the practice king of flips. But then when
This is only done through green screens and harnesses. You see how easy it was for somebody to manipulate that video was? Regular people can manipulate those videos or make them themselves. You see how they threw the gorilla in there without even trying, and he was weightless on the ISS. And these people have trillions of dollars for a budget to make these things, and we can tell when they're faking it, which is every time, all the time.
Wildest imaginations never envisioned this scenario. An astronaut drowning in a spacesuit on a spacewalk 260 miles above planet Earth.
Drowning inside his own helmet
caused him to nearly drown inside of his own suit. Water in his helmet? It's an incredible story.
Harrowing, almost unfathomable.
Unbelievable. This was one they had never envisioned.
I experienced what it's like to be a goldfish in a fishbowl.
Hey, let's use a diaper. I thought that's a clever solution to this problem.
Yeah, pretty neat. They also came up with the snorkel idea too,
Yeah.
you know. Makeshift snorkels.
This snorkel, if water is encroaching your face, the crew member can lean down and use this to breathe.
They're ripping that spacesuit apart, trying to figure out where all that water came from. Not like there are that many options when you're out on a spacewalk.
Next on Jonathan Bird's Blue World, Jonathan goes to inner space.
I'm standing on the International Space Station.
Water in space.
NASA says they cannot guarantee the helmet won't fill with water again.
And obviously, if you fill the helmet, you can't breathe.
Scary story. Glad he made out okay. That's a leak.
Oh, it's an explained leak.
A significant leak.
You know, when I was commanding the International Space Station, we had a significant coolant leak.
I imagine there are no insignificant leaks in space.
You know, these things do happen.
It's not, something we don't have plans for.
But, you know,
but you're in space.
You're in space, which means it's much more difficult to fix.
It's a pretty big problem.
Just about 3 hours now since we first observed what you're seeing on the screen, that being a leak.
You can only leak so long, and then eventually you stop leaking because you run out of fluid.
The fluid that you're seeing in the form of snowflake-like particles, it is a bit odd. Do not know what the source of that stream of particles is. A sudden streams looking like a snow shower.
Space is tough, especially whenever you're trying to show video from space.
You see all that stuff is just green screens and one of the biggest swimming pools you've ever seen in your life. That's all that is. The only way you can drown in outer space is because you're in a swimming pool, because outer space, there's no way to get there. You have a firmament above your head, and above that is water. So if you got through that, you most likely would drown, but they're not getting through that. So they film all these things in swimming pools and use green screens, and they actually have divers go in there that are in all black that help move them around, and then they just edit out the divers when they show the footage to people. It's so crazy. But if you've seen all these videos and you still think you live on a spinning globe and you're not important, you're wrong. You live on a flat, motionless plane with a dome above your head. God is real. He loves you. Jesus loves you. Find Jesus, you'll find where you live. Well, those are all the videos I had for you today. I hope you enjoyed them. I missed everybody. I'm glad to be back. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.